listening to Any Observation, the best NFT, crypto, and gaming podcast ever. With your host, Anders Bjork.
And we are now live. It is a new day, new show. Today we are here with the Neftyblocks guy. Juan has been here before. He's a familiar face. Diederick is familiar by his name in all the chats. So how are you guys doing?
Fantastic. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, it's been a while since we spoke. First time, I don't know how many months ago it is in the crypto world. Months or years, so who knows. Last time we spoke, you were in a hotel, Juan. So how are you doing today, and where are you, at home or in the office?
Yes. Last time I was on a theoretical holiday. That's why I was in a hotel. But yeah, now I'm fully working and I'm at home in my home office. So yes, and fully available for the NFT space now.
Yeah, that's awesome. And where are you both located at the same place or different cities, or what's the where are your team located?
We are in different cities. I think from the team we have in the Netherlands, only 2 people are in the same city, Diederick and Paul. Yeah. The rest we are scattered all over the country, and different cities. So yeah, it's crazy. But anyway, the Netherlands is kind of a small country, so yeah, it's, even if we are in different cities, it's okay to get together from time to time.
Yeah, it is. And then you have guys you work with all over the world. But Diederick, how did you get into crypto, NFTs, and starting to work with Neftyblocks?
Oh, that's a long time ago. Yeah. So I can tell you a funny story about that, actually, because I got into NFTs because I was trading Counter-Strike skins, Global Offensive. And those were the guys, of course, from OP Skins. And OP Skins was the team that is now currently the Wax team. Basically when OP Skins turned into Wax, that was when I was with the ICO and started being fully involved with Wax, never left. Got enthusiastic by many of the community members, like Kaver, the guy who was always promoting it. And at some point I got in contact with the team at Neftyblocks, and I was just graduated then, so that's basically how it started.
Yeah, and like from the ICO, from Opskins, from Wax, I mean, I got into Wax pretty soon thereafter, not full time, not really deep until the mainnet launch, but so you were basically here before me being a part of the community.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
And you have been here ever since. Did you also buy the NFTs on Opskins before they were actually NFTs?
Oh, let me think about that, because there was like Wax All Access, it was called before, and before it went to mainnet, you could already buy NFTs and virals. Actually, that was already a thing back then, and there were a lot of gambling sites popping up as well that were supporting these virals and trying to ship them to Europe and all those things. And later, when it went to mainnet, then it went to simple assets, atomic assets, and Yeah, but I think I've been trading those assets as well, before mainnet went live.
Yeah, I created my first NFT on Opskins before mainnet got live as well. And,
cool. Nice.
Well, it probably was after mainnet got live, but before they were migrated from Opskins to the mainnet. That took a few months before those NFTs came.
Yes, exactly.
And back then, I was making a joke about NFTs being stupid and artists being stupid. And I just took an MS Paint and I just drew some lines and I uploaded it and said, hey, there's an NFT, and I listed it for I think $1,000 or something and told, hey, buy this, it's art.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, so I was making fun of it because, like to be honest, a lot of NFTs are stupid, a lot of them are crazy, a lot of them are appreciated by the person that watching them and might not be appreciated by everyone else, and a lot of them are priced crazy. And at the start I thought everything was priced crazy because I did not understand why anyone would want to collect NFTs at all.
Okay, that's funny. Yeah.
And here I am.
Because I had the feeling that once NFTs okay, once I was able to sell some skins on Counter-Strike for ridiculous amounts of money, I started to realize, okay, there are people out there who are willing to pay quite a sum of money for digital collectibles. So for me, I don't know, it kind of clicked immediately, but yeah, I can see why it took some time.
Yeah, like sure, I was buying some skins in games like PUBG and Fortnite and Dota 2 and things like that, but like I bought them and I thought it was fun. I could change things, but I didn't really care. I thought it was fun to look different than everyone else, but still, like $10 for a season pass, is it really worth it to get a few new skins? I don't know. It's a lot of money for to just get some new appearance in a game. And like that's the reference. I thought $10 was too much to pay to get new skins and missions and things. And then we go now and look at new releases for games and NFTs, and they go for $100 or $200 or $500.
Yes.
There's even bigger sales, which is like in the crypto and NFT space, it makes sense. For everyone outside, this is just insane. So that is an interesting topic. And what's your take on that? I mean, Juan, you're running an NFT marketplace and helping creators do these sales. So what's your take here?
Yeah, you know, I think it's very interesting, and especially when you start moving from the games where you say, yeah, $10 is a lot. When you are in the crypto space, I think that a lot of people loses sight, loses the floor, and they don't really, and maybe it's not we don't really understand exactly what's the value of money and what's the value of crypto. Yeah. Everything changes completely. Then suddenly you say, I'm going to buy this NFT for 500, for 1,000 or whatever, and it doesn't seem like a lot. You know, I remember my first my first contact with NFTs. It was when I said it's stupid to buy an ape for $2,000 on Ethereum. I said, I will never pay $2,000 for this. And a few weeks later, I said, shit, I should have bought at least 10 of these. And now, it went so crazy. But that's how it is.
Yeah, it is. Like, and that is one thing that is hard to not argue like against, really, that the NFT space, it is a high risk speculation, and some of it is a lot like gambling. Because you buy a pack, you hope to get the big win, and if you don't, you buy another pack and you hope to get the big win. At least that's for some people, not everyone.
Yeah, but I think it's also somehow different. It's not if you have NFTs that come in a pack and this pack is going to be used for a game and so on, I don't see it completely as gambling. And for example, what we have on Wax, I think it's, you could say it's gambling, but I think that this NFT trading is more like having fun, playing games. If you go to Ethereum, for example, and you see those NFTs, that is basically gambling, because you know what you're getting, but you don't know if that will go up, will go down, if you will be able to sell. Because I think the biggest problem with NFTs is that it's an extremely illiquid market. Yeah, you don't know, okay, I want my money back. Yeah, but maybe what you will get back is nothing. Or it can also be 10,000 times what you paid, but you don't know.
Yeah, it is like, and like Lisa says in the chat, if you don't open and don't buy, and like doing that it's not the same thing, and that's not what I'm like. I didn't mean that everything is like that, but a lot of the aspects involving packs and NFTs are similar to gambling, but it's not. Yeah, it doesn't have to be the same thing. Like I don't see opening packs as gambling, but I could see how someone from the outside would deem it as the same thing.
Yes, and in the end there is a randomness element there, and yes, that's it's like buying the lottery, or
To me, gambling is when I'm buying an Ethereum NFT, and I have to buy a gas fee, and I don't know what it will be. That is to me a big gamble.
What's the biggest gas fee you paid for buying NFTs?
Oof. Yeah. Well, in Ethereum terms, you would say, "Oh, that's not a lot," but it was, I think, around $150 to buy an NFT.
Yeah, but outside of the crypto world, just to pay $150 to do a transaction is
for the fee. Just for the fee. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and that's really crazy because you know, I don't know if you noticed that Radar, they launched their token recently. And well, I checked my Ethereum wallet to see am I allowed to claim? Yes, I'm allowed to claim. But then when I go and I try to claim, it was more expensive to claim the tokens than the value that I was going to receive with their token. So that's crazy.
It's a speculation, though. It could be better later. But yeah,
yeah, but in that case, I should claim it later.
Yeah, that is probably true as well. Yeah, the biggest fee I paid was $400 around that for the ultra rare NFTs that I bought on Ethereum, the leather faces.
Wow.
That was really at the top of the gas price and everything. But enough of the gas price and things like that. So Neftyblocks has become one of the most used tools for creators to do their drops, to present their packs, and do sales like that. I guess your user activity has gone up from the start, and perhaps it has gone down a bit now with the market and everything. I don't know. How is the user base going, and what's the general feel you get from that?
Yeah, well, what you just said, it's exactly the truth. I think that the last few weeks have been very, very slow, and especially I think this week it's a very, very slow week. The market is going down a lot, and yeah, it's not good, but I think it's what it is, and this is a cyclic market, and we see good times and bad times, and yeah.
Yeah, and in the chat, actually, David is asking virtual graphics for anyone wondering. He's asking, like, before if he found the creator tools easier to access on your website, and now it's a little bit more complicated for him. Are you guys doing a big revamp? Is this something like it is hard to do in marketplace focus and a creator focused landing page? Are you gonna? What's the plan there long term? And
yes. Okay. So what we are trying to do, we are trying to separate the creator tools from the marketplace. And that's why right now the creator tools are only accessible through the main site. But soon we will also add that possibility to the menu that you have, where you have your wallet. There you will be able to access the creator tools also, because we realize it's a must. It makes things easier for people, even if we want to keep the separation between marketplace and creator tools.
yeah, I think that's good. And yeah, so you plan to make it easier for creators to actually find these things and to use them in a reasonable way. I mean, making user interfaces are super hard thing to do because you want to have so many things, but if you have too much, you can't really locate it unless you know where to go, and then you need to get it down, and you need to do it at the correct way. I mean, yeah, like the I don't know. Diederick was here when the Wax Explorer was one of the big marketplaces that turned into NFT Hive later. And when NFT Hive came, it had so many awesome features, but it was so hard to find them, which is better now. They are working a lot of that, and that is better. And Atomic Hub was the other way, where they didn't have a lot of features, but it was very easy to find the NFTs and where to go. Like, you didn't have to ask yourself, where do I go to do certain things? But there was lacking the creator tools, which is where you came into the picture, and now it's exploding, and everyone is competing for all the different aspects, I guess.
Yeah, you could go back even further, because at one point in the beginning of Wax, we also had these. It was called Myth Markets. I think it's still there, by the way. It's running on Simple Assets, I believe. And what they were doing is they had a separate site basically for each of those collections, which was also interesting. But of course, today there's so many collections that you cannot possibly. Yeah, well, with Neftyblocks we have our own collection pages to try to nail this problem, but you cannot have a separate website for each collection. Of course, that's not doable anymore.
like it's good to have a marketplace for everything, but it's also very hard to know as a new user where you should go and where do you find things and what should happen. And yeah, as Nick says, Atomic Hub also has specific sub-sites for some collections. They started to do that a lot before, and I haven't seen them really add any new collections. I don't know if a project want that, they have to pay for it and everything. But on Neftyblocks, every collection has their own page, which is just neftyblocks.com/he/your collection. Collection name.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's how we decided to do it at Neftyblocks. So we decided to I mean, if you are building a collection, if you are a creator, you also want to build a brand, basically your own brand. And then it's really valuable to have not only a generalized marketplace that we have and that we are rebuilding and designing, but also basically for each creator and collection to have your own marketplace, your own little place where you can brand it, you can customize the design, and where you can only find NFTs of that specific creator. So that's basically what we're also doing. Yeah.
The only problem with that is, like, if you're a new user and you want to explore something, where do you go?
Yes, I think that's a problem we didn't have in the past because we didn't have a generalized marketplace. But now it's getting confusing for users, and that's one of the challenges that we have to solve in the upcoming weeks. Because we already got some feedback there, and people are getting confused with that.
Yeah, and one thing I have like, we're gonna go into your new features and what you guys are dropping now. And if anyone just go to Neftyblocks, I will show it in front of my face right now. I will increase the size a bit so it's easier to read. This, I don't know, you guys can't see this in the chat, but on the stream everyone can. So this is the interface for my NFTs inside my wallet. I can go and see them. I can find all my NFTs, and I can search for the collections and everything. And I see a new button there, which is migrate listings and start earning. And when I talk to people about that, there are split feelings about that feature.
Yes.
So what's the idea about that, and why is that here, and how does it work?
And this is a very good point that you mentioned. And to be honest, even internally, we had mixed feelings and mixed opinions about how to proceed with that. But the reason why we included that button, it's because we are also launching new tokenomics. With the new site design, we are releasing new tokenomics. And one of the most important aspects of these new tokenomics is that we are going to share the fees from the secondary market with the community. And to make that interesting for the community, for people, then the volume on the NFT market has to go up. And to make it successful, we need a lot of people to come to Neftyblocks marketplace, and they should trade here, and they should list as many NFTs as possible here. And of course, that's what every marketplace wants. We are all trying to attract more users and have them use our tools and our platforms. And I think it's normal. I think what it's also complicated is that it might seem unfair for other marketplaces to some extent. Well, unfair maybe it's not the right word to use, but I see where the mixed opinions and feelings can come from. And in the end, I think that the only right answer is the answer that the community will give. If the community thinks this is a good idea, they will use it. If the community thinks this is unfair, this is not the way to go, they will simply not press the button. And in the end, for us, that will be feedback. That will be feedback, and we will know, guys, that was a great idea, or guys, this was the worst idea you ever had, and we will have to live with whatever is the result.
Yeah, and like, so for anyone that's wondering, now I had an interview with another marketplace yesterday, so we talked about that as well. But for all the sales on Wax, there is a 2% fee that goes to the marketplace S. It might go to one, it might go to multiple. So of those 2%, there is a taker fee and a maker fee. So the maker fee is where you listed the NFT, and the taker fee is where you bought the NFT. And because we have this shared liquidity across the marketplaces, so if you list something on Neftyblocks, you can actually buy it on Atomic Hub if it's an Atomic Assets. And then if it listed on Neftyblocks, the maker fee goes to Neftyblocks and the taker fee goes to the marketplace where you bought that. That's essentially how it works. And this button, just to explain to anyone watching what it does, is that it takes all the listings you have, it pulls it back, and then it lists them under the Neftyblocks. So all the maker fees that could go to the other marketplaces where they were listed first will now potentially go to the Neftyblocks instead. That's the intent of this feature. And you say that this will be shared across the users of Neftyblocks. So let's dig into this shared revenue and how that works.
Yeah. So basically, what happens is that now with rewards, originally when we launched the Nefty token, we had trading rewards, and we are modifying those trading rewards. The trading rewards will still be there, and traders on Neftyblocks will be rewarded with Nefty token. But we also added the liquidity providing rewards. So anyone who is providing liquidity on the Wax Nefty pool will also be rewarded with Nefty. And if people takes this Nefty and stakes the Nefty, then they will receive WaxP rewards that come from the secondary market fees. And in the upcoming 2 months, we will be sharing 100% of the fees, and that will start to go down 75, 50, and then 25%. And for the rest of the time, we will have a loyalty program that will give to the Nefty stakers the 25% of the collected fees.
At which interval will it go down? Is it based on amount of wax, or is it based on time?
It's based on time. It's 2 months 100%, 2 months 75%, 2 months 50%, and then from then on 25%.
Nick is asking to clarify one thing there. Are you taking the wax reward and paying out in Nefty, or paying out in Nefty and wax, or what happened there?
The liquidity providing rewards and the trading rewards will be paid in Nefty. The staking rewards will be paid directly in WaxP.
So both, for different things.
Yeah. So basically, the secondary market fees that we try to achieve here with this new tokenomics model are paid to the users in WaxP.
Yeah.
So that's important to understand.
Yeah, so it's been taken there and distributed.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's and like for me, so I am a collection owner. I have Neftyblocks. It's staked to my collection, so I get access to more features. Will those Nefty be counted in the staking, or is that a separate thing?
Yes, that's accounted in that staking. So automatically when you stake to gain access to the features as a creator, you are receiving part of the secondary market fees.
And like we just mentioned this, like everyone that is watching this now or in the future will understand what that actually means. So what kind of features do you have that you can get access to from a creator's perspective?
Yeah, there we have right now multiple tools. We have, for example, we have all the Super Blender features, which are crafting features. And what you get, what you get depends on the staking level where you are. If you are a collection staking level 1, you will get basic features of the Super Blender. If you are staking level 2, you get some additional things like pre-minted super blends. And if you are level 3, additional to the features of level 1 and 2, you get the possibility to create whitelists for your super blends. And that is one. We also have the creation of pre-minted packs, which is also part of the premium tools that the creators who stake Nefty gain access to. And we are about to release some other features that will be initially exclusive for the creators that are staking Nefty.
Okay, that's cool. So there's a lot of things happening, and we have people happy about it in chat. We have people asking questions. and that people are staking since you drop the token. And he's asking, do you have to do anything or just leave them staked?
If they leave that staked, their staking will be migrated to the new staking contract automatically, and they will start receiving WAXP in an automated way. The only thing is that the first time they claim, they will have to accept the terms and conditions of the rewards program. But there's nothing. There's nothing obscure there. It's basically, yes, we're giving this, and it's a rewards program. It's a loyalty program, one very important thing there is that we say, remember that taxes are different in every jurisdiction. Don't forget to pay your taxes because you're receiving rewards.
Yeah, taxes
but
are
it's
no
basically
fun.
that kind of things.
Yeah, and I finally found my way, because the creator tools are a bit hidden in the new user interface. Something we said before will change. But you can actually find the different tools, and you will be able to mint NFTs, create schemas, templates, the drops and everything that we talked about, and also see the RAM of your collection. So you know, my atomic drops RAM, how many atomic drops can I create? Okay, I can create 37,000 more NFTs with the RAM I have in that one, which means I have a lot of RAM there. And for my pre-minted packs, I can do 14,000 NFTs or 18,000 opening calls, and you can actually start to do math on how much RAM you have and how much RAM your collection will need, and things like that. So I did buy a bunch of RAM at one point and just left it there.
I don't think you're the only one who did that. Oh man, there were some big RAM whales back in the day. I'm not sure if they're still there, but there used to be some people who owned gigabytes of RAM, right? Which was like, what are you speculating on? I remember when this chart went live for the first time, they had like a RAM, a graph basically that told you the price of RAM to wax. And people were just speculating on RAM because that was the only thing you could actually speculate on wax at the time. So why not?
Yeah,
right?
and also they learned from the EOS mainnet when that launched. There was a lot of RAM speculation, and people that got in early and understood that, they made good money before the RAM inflation came, and that dropped down. Which RAM inflation came in the late autumn on wax, and it dropped down and went up again. But we do get more RAM each block now on wax, so it will not run out, but it will be more expensive. And the main reason for that, people, it should be cheap. Yeah, it is still cheap. What you actually buy is storage on physical machines that will make sure that your tables are there and your information are there. And right now, the state of wax is over 75 gigabytes. That is usually stored inside RAM. So you need more than 75 gig of RAM on these servers just to run this state, and that is growing in the future.
The new requirement is 256 for your servers. So I think this is also something that it's adding additional requirements to the block producers. So it makes sense that it's kind of more expensive because
and Daniel is asking, so what's the benefit for people to migrate their listings to Neftyblocks?
What's the benefit? When you migrate your listings to Neftyblocks, and if you start listing your NFTs on Neftyblocks and buying on the Neftyblocks, what will happen is that we will reward people. We will give back to people not only Nefty token, but also WAXP. So it's like when you have a credit card and you go to buy, and this credit card has a cashback program where you pay 100 euros and you get back 2 euros. Great. Then this is exactly what we are doing. It's a rewards program where if you are loyal to Neftyblocks, if you are using the platform, the more you use it, the more you get back. So basically what we are doing is that, we can say that we are paying you for doing what you normally do on the Wax blockchain. And of course, we pay you if you shop at Neftyblocks.
Yeah, so you are sharing a bit of that, and so no one in this space is usually an expert in law or in taxes or how anything like this works. and how you should treat these rewards are different depending on where you are located, what kind of legal entity you are, if you're a person or if you're a business or if you wherever that happens. But also launching a token like this and giving shares, can that potentially be issues for you or anyone else, or what's there?
Okay, there you touched a very important point. We are not giving shares. That's very, very important. We are running a loyalty program, which is very different from giving shares, because if we were giving shares, yes, you are right. There are some different legal considerations, but this is registered as a loyalty program. And what we are doing is rewarding our users just like any, you have the card from the supermarket and every time you go to the supermarket, you get points. This is exactly the same. And even if you think about this, most of the European countries consider tokens as vouchers. That's how most of the regulations see that. And to some extent, this is it. Every time you buy on our shop, you're getting a very tiny voucher that you can then exchange for something.
Yeah,
but the second point with the taxes, it's very important because just as you said, every country will have different regulations. For example, for us here as Dutch citizens, we will have that in our box 3 taxes. But I don't know in Sweden, what kind of taxes will you have to pay? And that's up to you to do your research.
Yeah, and it's no fun. I'm in a process with accountants and tax lawyers and things like that to figure out this space because it is complicated. And okay, you buy a land in Alien Worlds and you get tokens doing nothing, and then you go and mine in Alien Worlds, you get tokens. One of them is actually you doing something, and that is seen as you performing some kind of work, and you're getting paid for that work. But also, if you get the token in a game, is that also seen as work, or is it not? Like there are a lot of these questions where they have to come up with reasoning that supports the way you then book it if you're a business, or the way you report it as a person. And that might change. It might not be correct. And also one thing that is, since we're on the legal topic, if you create NFTs, you have these digital images or videos, and in those images or videos, you also have more assets that could be parts, like small images, a background, a guy, a border and everything. And those could be seen as like assets to create a new type of digital asset, and they should be booked as pretty much as if you have a certificate on something that you could earn a royalty on in the future. Since you earn royalties on the second market sales, when you get these assets to create NFTs, those might have to be connected to when you get your payments. And you need to keep them separate, and you need to have all the documentation for this to do this properly.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, it's crazy. And now, if you want to complicate it a little bit, what happens when your NFT is backed with tokens?
Yeah.
How do you report that to the tax authorities? Yeah, it's crazy, but yeah, that's. That's homework for everyone.
Or fractionalized NFTs. I read this morning an article by Cointelegraph that they were going after fractionalized NFTs, basically.
Yeah, SEC doesn't necessarily like that, and we all know, like we don't all fall under SEC regulations. That's the Americans, but if Americans are in our market and part of that, and you sell to them as a project, potentially that could be issues for you or not. And these things are, you as a creator of a big project, small creators are probably don't have to worry about this, but big projects should probably have, like, it is not as simple in this space to just launch a project and move on. You need to have all of these things sorted out.
Yeah, you know, that's something we learned when we released the Nefty token. Even if in Guatemala, which is where we have the company registered and where we launched the token, there's no specific regulation for this, so it's allowed to do it. We checked the regulations in many different countries because we wanted people to be able to buy wherever they were. And one of the things in the US is that if our platform wouldn't have existed, then our token would have been immediately a security, because people are investing in something that will be built in the future.
Yeah.
But if your platform it's already there, then it will fall in the category of a utility token, because the platform is there and the token is used to gain access to certain features of the platform. So yeah, it's a lot of things that you have to consider when you get into this world.
Yeah, it is complicated. And Dr. Gianani mentioned something we cannot say is good or bad, but you can set up legal entities in other places of the world, and depending on what you do at that location, it might not fall under the regulations of your country. And that is a place to go if you have resources to make sure that you do that correctly, because if you don't, that is tax evasion, and that will be a bad thing where you in Sweden will go to jail. So you need to do it correctly, and depending on where you're located, it's like a lot of the financial crimes in the US seems to be a slap on your wrist and a big fee to pay. Well, for some 4 billion collected money for the EOS ICU, you just pay a few $1 million and you're good to go. For others, you have to pay more. Yeah, and as Dr. Gianani, it's nothing illegal to create a company in another country and run something from there. It is perfectly fine. You can do that. But depending on how you use the money afterwards and how you set everything up, then it could be a problem if you don't do that correctly.
Yes. Yeah, and to be honest, the reason why we didn't, well, as a matter of fact, we created Neftyblocks in the Netherlands. Neftyblocks exists in the Netherlands. The problem we had is that every time we approached a bank, and I think that I am too transparent and too honest, and I said, okay, this is what we're doing. Blockchain, you're not a good customer for us.
Yeah.
I tried another bank. Blockchain, no, you're not a good customer for us. And I visited all the banks, and I was not a good customer for them. So we were like, okay, what do we do?
Yeah. So, what did you end up doing? Are you using a bank in another place, or did you register the company as something different?
We registered a company in Guatemala. That's why our company is registered in Guatemala. I am originally from Guatemala, so it made sense for us to register there.
It is interesting this, because a lot of the people like myself, like you guys, and we want to do this correct in the place we're located, but they make it too complicated. So either we have to not do it, or we have to take the business elsewhere, and that is very complicated. And it is, however, interesting, because going to this space means that you start to read and learn and figure out these kind of things, how the world runs, how people operate, and it's interesting to say the least.
Yeah, and that's how it goes in general, right? With crypto, the countries that are the most open, they will have the most innovation as well. So, for example, I'm just taking it broadly now, right? But for example, with the Bitcoin mining, as soon as China banned it, the countries right next to it got an overwhelming amount of miners entering the country and doing their business there. So it's just a matter, in the crypto world, it's just a matter of where can I do what, and that's where people will move.
Yeah. And then like NFTs, it's something new. And to be fair, should all NFTs be treated as one thing? The answer is probably not. But they are, and how are they treated depending on where you are and everything. So running a marketplace, it's registered in Netherlands and the company in Guatemala. How are you guys doing for VAT? Because as a salesperson, if you sell NFTs, that is a big problem for you, regardless if you know it or not.
Yes, and what happens is that for Guatemalan regulation, it works different, and Guatemala is not adhered to a lot of international treaties. And what happens is that for VAT, when you are located in Guatemala, everything that you sell to a foreign country does not pay VAT. We only pay income tax. But if we sell to people in Guatemala, we have to pay the VAT.
Okay. And you as a marketplace, are you responsible for, like, in your perspective, because this can be, depending on where you're located, the lawyer you have, the marketplace might be responsible for this, or the one that is listing the sale, or the one that is creating the NFT. Like, it's complicated. But what approach are you guys doing there?
Well, for us, it's very transparent because what we get is the fee, and our invoice should be not on the price of the NFT, but on the fee that we are collecting. And then in the end, it's irrelevant because it's the VAT paid on top of the 1% or on top of the 2%.
Yeah. And I know, like, this is a different topic than we intended to talk about, but I think it's good because if you run a business here, you have thought about these things, which a lot of people might not have, and they might find it interesting, even though the topic itself is not something they hold keen to their heart. It's tax season for a lot of people. They need to understand what they need to do, and it's not easy. It is not easy, and it's not clear, and I'm of the belief that we need regulations. I'm just afraid that regulations might control us too much and be a problem. It's a fine balance there.
Yeah, but I think that regulations are very important because otherwise it's not even good for entrepreneurs, because you have to spend a lot of time and effort figuring out what is the best way to book something, to register it in your books without getting in trouble.
Yeah.
If there were clear regulations, this would be 2,000 times easier.
Yeah.
But in reality, the effort to get this right is enormous.
Yeah, and I mean, entrepreneurs, you could even say, I mean, we are now talking about our marketplace, for example, but an entrepreneur could also be a creator, an artist.
Yes,
who is who is building a game, or who is building a collection of art based on NFTs, which may also have some, for example, some pack mechanic or some unbox blend mechanic, even with probabilities. So I think we're not alone if about thinking about all these things. But yeah, it's really important to think about what you do before you start.
Yeah, like I have a small accounting firm in my town, but they're connected to a big accounting firm all over Sweden. For the last meeting, they pulled in the head of accounting on the nationwide firm to sit down on the meeting to try to understand how the NFT sales work. And tomorrow we have a meeting together with the head of accounting, my accountant, and 2 tax lawyers to understand if the idea we have is an idea we can approach and move forward, or if we need to go back and figure out another way to do it. And like that process costs you money, but without doing it, it might cost you a lot of headache and complications. But back to Neftyblocks and what you guys are doing. So people can actually start to earn based on the sales on your market, and for the start, you're giving away 100% of sales to the people that are participating in this loyalty program, huh?
Yes. There you go.
So you have started to remake your website and things like that. So what's the plan moving forward? What's the next step to make this work?
Well, the next step is try to get as many community members on board as possible to use Neftyblocks. We really want this to be a success, and we want to become a much more important marketplace. And yeah, basically from the marketplace perspective, that's it. And if you see feature wise, it's very simple. We have some things that are not found in other marketplaces, like the find cheapest list below 1% below the lowest price, and
that list below lowest price is also on NFT Hive, though.
Might be, yeah. True. Yeah. To be honest, it's so difficult to follow all the different features that every marketplace has, because it is moving too fast for me.
And for a user, that is awesome, because like having one big marketplace is no good, because we get vulnerable to them doing something bad, like blocks threatened to leave unless they got money. That put us in a bad situation, but that made EOS Authority upgrade their website, so now that is a fast and very good block explorer. They were lacking before in speed and functionality and wasn't built entirely for wax, but with these changes they have improved because of the situation with blocks before. And now when we have Neftyblocks, we have NFT Hive, Atomic Hub, Shane Champs, and a few other smaller marketplaces coming. this is competition, and for me that is a positive thing in most cases.
Yes,
Yes.
I think it is extremely good. I think it is extremely good. You know what I think? The part that I think that it's not fair, you know what it is? Is that Atomic Hub has to maintain it.
Yeah.
I think that we should all be spending resources to maintain this marketplace contract, because it's not fair that they have to spend their time maintaining it, and there are other marketplaces that, as us and NFT Hive and all the marketplaces in Wax, we are using the infrastructure without doing our fair share of work to keep that contract running and to have it maintained and so on. So I think we should, as a community, think of options on how to make this work, because I think competition is very good, but it has to be fair. It has to be in equal conditions for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and how do you get that?
Yeah, that's the challenge. And I think that the first step is to sit together and talk openly and see how can we do this? Because I think there is so much value that we can add. I don't know. It's if you think, for example, go back to the technology world, to the IT world, and you think about kind of old programming language. I say old because it's what I used to program since 1999 or something like that, which is Java. Java was created by Sun Microsystems, but very soon there were many companies investing in the development of Java. There was Oracle was doing it, IBM was investing there, BEA Systems was there. There were a lot of companies investing in the language. And I think something like this is what should happen with the Atomic Asset Standard. I think it's an amazing standard, and we should all support the development, and we should all be contributing to this. And that is fair. And in that way, we will all be able to compete and don't feel that this is unfair, this is that. I think, it's our responsibility as a community to give our contribution to this.
And Dr. Giannani has a question there. How much maintenance do you see is needed for that contract? And first you said Atomic Market contract, which is one contract, and then we have Atomic Assets, which is a second one.
A second contract, yes.
And then we have a few other ones, but then those other ones are usually more individual per marketplace.
Yeah, well, quantifying the amount of maintenance, it's very difficult. But for example, I'll give you one simple example. Right now, it's possible to back NFTs with Wax. If we wanted to be able to back NFTs with other tokens, then the contracts have to be modified and tested and deployed, and that costs Wax. So, this is something that could be done as a group.
Yeah.
And we should all decide, okay, guys, is it reasonable to want NFTs back with other tokens? And if so, which tokens should be allowed? And we as a group should define what are the rules to add a token to this. So that's the kind of things that I'm thinking about. Or saying, okay, guys, these are the base attributes of any NFT that we have on Wax. Or let's make our NFTs compatible with the Ethereum standard so that we can have a bridge and move them easily. I don't know. I'm just speaking out, thinking out loud here. So
yeah, there are a lot of things you can do, and one thing they do have is on the Atomic Asset contract there is a multi-sig to do any change, so they can't do anything like that. Where I sit on one of the keys, my team has one of them, so we need to sign any change and approve them. But I can't do anything alone. But it's a team of more teams, and everyone has to agree on it. That is one valuable thing. Like, they can't change anything, but they do the work. They put in the time. They suggest changes. Yeah. We give feedback. Is this really a good change? Should this be done differently? And sometimes that's no feedback because it looks good, or sometimes it's more feedback. Like recently, they did some changes on how you can present your collection and what type of information that has. Yeah. Yeah, so Neftyblocks, this loyalty reward system and supporting each other, like the last step was to have people create NFTs, and now you are focusing on the marketplace of having people buy NFTs is the vision I get, and to incentivize that. How long do you think it is until you have a the things for the creator inside the new interface and everything like that?
Well, that will be very soon, because it's just about providing different places for access. One thing that we are going to start working on, and well, we already started working on that, is also on improving the creator tools, and especially also the experience of collectors with these tools. Because, for example, if you think of the Super Blender, you have the user interface, but if you have 20 ingredients,
so
and then
break down what it is for anyone. I know what a Super Blender is, but not
yes,
everyone watching is not.
Okay, great. So the Blender, it's a crafting program that allows you to provide a set of NFTs, and based on this set of NFTs that you provide as ingredients, you can obtain a different NFT. But currently what happens is that if you have 2 or 3 ingredients that you are going to burn to get this NFT, this different NFT, it's very easy, and the user interface, it's kind of decent for those cases. But when the amount of ingredients grows, the usability of that, it's very poor, in my opinion. So that's something that kind of things, it's what we want to change, so that collectors can have a much better experience.
Yeah, and how do you, like, you need to account for so many different things. You don't know how people will use your tools. You have one intention and they do it differently. Like, what a few people have to create NFTs in your tools, you can do it all there, it's all there, but they don't appreciate the current user interface that is surrounding the creator tool. Is very lean. You basically have boxes where you hit, and you have the window, the form where you enter the information. It is not a 2022 fancy website that we are used to. Is that coming in the same time as you're migrating it? Are you changing the visuals?
Well, that will come a little bit later, because first we will focus on the collection pages. Those one must be improved, and all the things that collectors interact with will be improved first. And the creator pages will also be improved, but let's say that's the third step, because even if it's not, like you said, it's not a 2022 website yet, it's at least very, very usable. But it can, there's room for a lot of improvement there.
Yeah, and I just got a question for transactions for, I don't know if everyone is aware of this, probably not, but bdata.one, if you go to that website, you can actually access an SQL website where you can get all your transactions for your accounts in no time. However, you still need to know a bit of coding and SQL and how that works to get your information. However, I got 2.3 million transactions in just 2 minutes from that. So wow. You can clearly use that for a large amount of transactions. And I am working on a tool to deal with my own stuff, because I have, as I said, 2.3 million transactions from last year. This is impossible to do manually. So I am building a program, and I'm gonna try to do this for my own use case. And my intention is that I will bring this available for other users in some way and shape and form. How that look, I do not know. It might be a web user interface. It might just be that I publish the code on GitHub so you can download it, and I make a video how it works or whatever. We will see how that works. I don't know exactly, but I intend to help you somehow summarize the information you need, but it won't be exactly as you need it, since it will be based on my league, like how I should report taxes. The information I need might be a little bit different for you, but it will at least help you to get the information sorted instead of going to blocks and going page by page or something like that. That's impossible to do. At least you will get a CSV with all the information outlined, and I will have a few different options on how to actually properly do that. That is the plan. It takes a lot of time to build this. It's eaten a lot of my mind power and my time in the last while, but I think since I do that time, I could probably share it in some way. We will see how.
Nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
We will see.
Good community effort, right? Everyone is doing community stuff here. That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how. I might put it on one of my websites where you actually log in with your Wax account if you have one of my NFTs or something, or a special NFT. I might do something like that, because I have spent hundreds of hours now to think about how to solve this. So I might have to make some kind of incentive to do it, but I will share it so it will be way easier for people, and I will not charge a lot of money for it, and I will make it so you can easily import that information into Coinly or another thing, so you can actually get the tax report as you need it for your country and everything, which is the most important for most people. Just get the information so you can import it in another tool, and it shouldn't cost people their kidney or anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you know, this here in the Netherlands, we have to the 1st of January we have to get kind of a snapshot of all the assets that we have to be included in our tax declaration. You know what was the most difficult for me? Finding the price, the actual value of what I have in the Wax tokenomics.
Yeah.
There's no single place where you can easily go and say, okay, this is the value of what you have there.
No, you mean on the Ethereum, the
on the Ethereum, yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for Wax G, for example, you have to. There's only a few block explorers that turn it into from Uniswap, and then they calculate the dollar value of Wax G token. Yeah, it's really confusing indeed.
Yeah, it is complicated, and like, if you just take an API and you pull down chain data of your public key, which is very easy, if you do that, you might also get tokens that are fake tokens called something like a real token, and the automated system will register that as the real token instead of the fake one, and you will get a weird number that is not correct. I did that for one account I had barely used, and it said that I had on that account right then, I had over 200,000 euro on that account, which was not correct, because it was a few $100s, and that's not something you will want to make as a mistake in your tax report. At least that kind of difference you will likely notice, but like a smaller mistake of a few $1,000 that might, or $100 that will impact your taxes, and it might be wrong. So it's very complicated to do everything automated.
It's part of crypto life, I guess.
It's a good problem to have for a lot of people, a lot of times, but not always.
But not always.
So that's good. So what's happening in you guys' lives other than just working?
Other than NFTs, nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
No kidding.
So, Diederick, you were here from Opskins, and the founder of Opskins is launching an awesome game on Wax, which is really fun to play. Have you tried it yet?
No, I have not, but I've seen your stream, and I really should go into this game. eGen Studios, right? It's,
exactly. Gen E. And the Forge Arena, which is this shooter where right now, if you have NFTs, you can access the beta of the game. It's very early. They are doing a small starting things. You can play 5v5. The matchmaking right now is on Discord, which is it's way better than I thought. It's automated, and you teams and you pick teams and everything, or you can jump into the game directly for deathmatch, which is what most people do. And they have a few servers live 24/7, so everyone can go and play. But it has rough edges. There are things they need to optimize, but it's very exciting to see some fun and real games.
Cool. That's amazing. Do you also have like these? That's of course I'm curious towards. Do you also have like the knives and the skins and everything?
That is every skin for every item. Like the creator of Opskins is a big trader of skins, and he built this game years ago, and then it died out of funding and disputes and whatever, and now he's bringing it back to life. And the skins are now NFTs instead.
Oh, that's amazing.
So yeah, it will be, and cool. Like if they pull everything off moving forward, like building a game, finalizing it, getting it out, it's a lot of money. They need funding. They need to get everything working. It's never 100% success rate, even if you have a good product to start with. You need to do a lot of work and maintain personnel. Like it's a complicated thing. But if they do it, I'm very excited, and I played it, and it's a lot of fun to play 5v5 with people on Discord. You play and you learn and you discuss the game. It's very engaging.
Cool. I'll jump in.
And I have a cool knife skin.
Nice.
Yeah. It's fun. It changes colors when I move on the screen with it, so it's cool. Yeah, and so you spend all your day on NFTs, and Juan, what do you do except working? Nothing.
Lately it's been working, and for me, outside of NFTs and working, what I really enjoy in life is sailing. But I was complaining that last year I spent most of the summer doing NFTs and not sailing, so I was kind of miserable last year. But yeah, I hope this year I will have more time to do it.
Yeah.
But still, season starts in April, so I still have 1 month to work 14 hours per day. So yeah.
Yeah, like it's whoa! I just made a noise there. I was gonna share the game a little bit on my screen so people can see it while we're talking. But yeah, so doing other things is something I struggle with as well, like covering the NFT space and everything that is happening there. It is time consuming, it is fun, it is exciting, it is stressful, it is frustrating, it is everything that you can think about. So do you manage to balance your family life and everything there?
Yeah, that's a difficult question because I think I managed to balance it. But for example, last week it was a holiday week here in the Netherlands, so I went on vacation with my family. But it was theoretical vacation because I was working from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. and only the afternoon I was available for them. So yeah, it's difficult, but
and I was calling you all the time.
Yeah, especially we had the release of the website on Monday, so it was I think the worst time to go on vacation. So yeah.
Junani says you should come to Greek islands and sail.
Yes, I will definitely do that.
Sounds amazing.
As soon as I have enough time to do it.
Yeah, and Dr. Jane says I should share the trick how I follow the projects and be active in Discord. The easy answer to that, I'm not active in Discord. That is the first question. I don't check channels. I forget about it. I miss DMs. I don't follow that. However, I do follow Telegram and Twitter way more than I should.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There's one really nice thing in working in the NFT space, at least for me. But I think you can have the same experience. Is the fact that you can basically work anywhere you want, right?
Yes.
So I work for Neftyblocks, and basically I'm here in the Netherlands. But for example, recently I moved to Spain for 1 month to work there remotely for Neftyblocks, just as productive, but I had an amazing experience.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. You can go anywhere and still do your thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that is very true. I live on a farm in the middle of nowhere in Sweden. I have good internet most days. It has been issues the last few weeks, but other than that, I have good internet. Gigabit network in the middle of nowhere. So that's nice. But I did also a few weeks ago, I just went down. We have a family house down south, and I just went down there for a few days, and I could continue to do whatever I'm doing. I just brought my monitor, and that house is also in the middle of nowhere, and we have fiber there as well, because you also have to have fiber, right? So yeah, that's it is good, but it also means that you work way more than you should, because you can work everywhere and all the time, and you should also go away to trips when you don't work, which is hard when you have work on phone and your computer and everything else.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it's difficult.
Yeah. So, Neftyblocks, let's summarize what is happening, what you guys are doing. We have been chatting for over an hour, which is fun. And then let's see if we missed mentioning anything. You guys are doing a lot of things right now.
Yeah, so I think wrapping up, we just released the new Neftyblocks marketplace, and together with the marketplace, we released the rewards program, which will provide rewards for providing liquidity, for trading on the platform, and for staking your Nefty to get wax fee. And yeah, we will continue working and focusing on delivering more value to the community. We have many things on the roadmap. I will drop it here, because yesterday I was with Ken Bosak and I forgot to drop it there, but I will drop it here. The Nefty Quest is coming.
What is the Nefty Quest?
The Nefty Quest will be the biggest trading competition that has happened on Wax so far. We have $100,000 worth of Nefty destined to rewards for this trading competition. So yeah, we will be announcing the details of this competition very soon.
So essentially another way to incentivize people to go to your marketplace and trade and get there going.
Yes, indeed.
Cool. And yeah, I guess we will get more information about that. So that's a big teaser.
Yes, there will be a lot of information and what are the mechanics, because we really want to make it so that everybody has a fair chance to earn, not only the ones who are spending the most money. So there will be some mechanics in the trading so that everybody can really participate in this.
Yeah. So you will try to balance the small guys with the big guys in some way. How do you plan to do that? That's an interesting topic, though.
Yes, there are things considering there some multiple things, because it will use prices of NFTs, but also amount of NFTs that you buy and from which collections you are buying. So yeah, it has many things there that we hope will help finding this balance.
Okay, it will be interesting to see how that plays out. And
yes,
good use of the token and to find some interest and having people go there will be nice. So with that said, anything else we missed?
I don't know, Diederick, we miss something?
I think everything was covered well, Juan.
Yeah, I think
okay, so. Cool.
That's awesome. And yeah, and people can find Neftyblocks. It's been on the screen here all the time, so people can find it and linked in the description. So that's awesome. Thanks so much for coming on and sharing this and building tools. We all appreciate it. All the users love to have more tools to use and to make it easier for collections to be created and to be enjoyed.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you for having us. Indeed.
Have a good one. If you want, make clips of this video, share it everywhere, subscribe, like, go and buy some NFTs, enjoy, and don't forget, you join the NFT space for fun. Don't forget that when all of the focus is on money. Money can be fun, but the NFTs are more fun, so keep that in mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
A Bitcoin bull is all I got left. Sold my clothes, gold no less. Was a sucker.